Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily FX market review for the trading day ending Thursday, September 10th. Firstly to the Euro US dollar, and here we see very strong buying coming into this market for today's trading. The previous day's trading we saw the buyers with control, but they found resistance around the 10% indicator at 112.08. Today the buyers have been strong enough to breach up through there, changing the trend in that first term time frame to have a bullish bias in that short-term time frame. The market trading up to the Kijun-sen indicator, trading at 112.83 and finding some resistance around there, unable to close up above there. We could see the market back off from that area. At the moment, in this new session, we are seeing the market test above there and be rejected from there in a slight manner. But a lot depends on the strength from the buyers, and I suggest that with this current candle that has closed, the buyers closing with control, and the size of the white body suggesting that we've seen the buyers building some momentum, we certainly could see the market trading up through the Kijun-sen and closing up above there. Some minor resistance around the 113.50 level, the previous area of rejection, but a possibility of the Euro US dollar trading up to the 114.59 area eventually again. We do have a bullish market in the longer term time frame, and bullish activity up above these indicators would be in line with that overall bullish bias in big picture terms, and also in line with the Chica span representing that strong upside momentum, with the price action being below the Chica span. Moving to the hourly charts, and here for the session that has completed, we saw the market trading to the first pivot point resistance level, selling off quite strongly from there to find support around the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud, then at the top and very close to the middle pivot point level in the Kijun-sen. This highlights how important the Ichimoku indicators can be. The market then rallying almost to the third pivot point resistance level, and all the while trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators, giving us a very strong bullish price action. There's an opportunity for the buyers to trade higher. This is something of an extreme day, however, and with the market trading almost to that third pivot point resistance level, we may not see as dynamic price action for today as we saw for the previous day. The extent of the upside trading today could be to the first level at 113.24 and then to the second at 113.72. If we do see the market back off, looking to strong support to come in at the Tenkan-sen at 112.57, and very often when we have strong upside momentum in that short-term time frame, we tend to see that area hold and the buyers come back in off the support. Also, the middle pivot point level 112.47 may hold a support, and the Kijun-sen below there at 112.36. Next to the US dollar, Japanese yen, and here we've seen formation of an indecisive candle, so some weakness entering the market as the buyers were building some solid upside momentum, but for the second consecutive day finding resistance above the Kijun-sen indicator 120.87 and also around the previous important support and resistance level at 121.14. The introduction of the indecisive candle suggests that this trend to the upside may be in danger, and we'll be looking for confirmation of a change of trend with the market to potentially form a lower high and a lower low. We do have strong support below, however. We've seen today the market rejected from the Tenkan-sen, trading at 119.99, and then the 119.85 previous support level may come into play as well, so we may not see that trend actually change. We do have a bearish market in the longer term time frame supported by the Chica span, so some selling coming into this market and breaching down through these support levels could see the market move in line with that higher time frame downtrending price action. Looking to the hourly chart with the US dollar, Japanese yen, and we saw the market attempting to trade lower early in the trading session, but then to bounce back and find resistance around the first pivot point resistance level. The market then sold off to find very strong support around the middle pivot point level and the Ichimoku cloud, just the top of it there, and the Kijun-sen indicator. For the today's session, we're now seeing some bullish activity just up above the cloud, the Kijun-sen, the Tenkan-sen, the middle pivot point level, all trading in that area, roughly about 120.60 So a confluence of strong support. So this is going to be a good guide for us. If we see the market close down through there in a bearish manner, it will suggest that the sellers are very much the stronger party. But if we do see strong follow through off this last candle that was quite bullish and the market continued to trade higher, we could see the market easily test up to the first pivot point support resistance level, at 121.29. Next to cable, the British pound US dollar, and here off the back of some selling coming in from the previous day's trading on a very weak inside day, we saw the buyers come into the market, and the buyers have built some solid upside momentum here, extending the size of the white body. So net momentum is shifted back to the buyers away from the sellers. The sellers finding support at the 153.28 level. The sellers losing commitment around that area. The Tenkan-sen indicator trading at 153.18 just below there is important support if the market does sell off and trade to these lower levels. With the market forming a small shadow on the top of this candle, it suggests that we've seen the influence of the Kijun-sen resistance coming into play. The buyers losing commitment as they approach very close to that level around 154.89, and that's going to be an important level moving forward. If we do see some bullish activity up above there and a build of a very solid white body candle, we could see the market attempt an assault on the Ichimoku cloud and then eventually trade up through there. Over the next few trading days, probably to the next week or even more, we have a very thin cloud. So the opportunity is here for the buyers if they're strong enough and if we see strong follow through following this build of momentum. To the downside, if the 153.28 and the Tenkan-sen are breached, looking to the 151.68 level to continue to hold a strong support. With the hourly charts with cable, we saw early price activity failing to break through the Ichimoku cloud and through the Tenkan-sen indicator, selling off to find support at the first pivot point support level, rallying up off there, breaching up through each of those indicators in a bullish manner to trade through the Ichimoku cloud. The follow through wasn't strong until about 4 or 5 hours later when we breached through the first pivot point resistance level. That resistance level held for about 4 of those 5 hours actually, and the market eventually trading up through to the third pivot point resistance level to sell off from there late in the trading day. Reaching that third level suggests something of an extreme day. We may not see the dynamic activity that we saw for today. With the market opening well up above the Ichimoku cloud, it suggests that we may be a little bit overdone and we could see the market retrace, and we are seeing something of that, but looking to support at the middle level at 154.18 and at the Kijun-sen at 154.06 before we trade down to the Ichimoku cloud. If the buyers are strong enough and if they can breach through the Tenkan-sen, which currently trades at 154.50, we could see them trading up to the 155 first pivot point resistance level. But I suggest that the second level and certainly the third level may be too far. Next to the Aussie dollar, US dollar, and some buying coming into this market today following the very weak activity that we've seen for quite some time. The buyers attempting to retrace some of this very strong second time frame downtrend that we've seen, but finding resistance at the 70.72 level, an area that's held as very strong support in the recent past. The market poking just above there, unable to close above there on this build of upside momentum in net terms, and also the buyers are closing with strong control. So there is a suggestion that we could see the market test through there, but this is going to be the benchmark for today's activity, 70.72, and if we can test up through there in a bullish manner and test through the high of this candle at 70.99 in a bullish manner, we could see the Aussie dollar trading to the Kijun-sen resistance around 71.76. Importantly, the market has traded through the Tenkan-sen in a bullish manner, and this suggests that we may have seen the market transition from that very strong bearish phase into the beginning of a bull phase here in that short-term time frame. Importantly, support coming in at 70.13 and down through the 70-cent level once again. So very solid support below, but a lot depends on whether we can breach through 70.72 resistance. To the hourly charts with the Aussie dollar, and early in the previous in the trading session that has finished, we saw the market trade through the Ichimoku cloud but failed to develop further through there with the second pivot point support level coming into play. The buyers came in solidly off there, trading the market up through the top of the cloud and through the first resistance level to find resistance at the second level, selling off to find support at the Tenkan-sen and unable to breach through the second pivot point resistance level for the second test. The market has opened around the Tenkan-sen indicator. No bullish activity up through there, but the opportunity is here if the buyers are strong enough. We could trade up to the 71.30 first pivot point resistance level. Any selling is likely to find some strong support at the middle pivot point level, 70.36, then at the Kijun-sen trading at 70.21, and any bearish activity trading through there could easily see the market breach through the very thin Ichimoku cloud. So we're just bearing in mind for quite a few hours through to roughly around the middle of the trading day, the Ichimoku cloud is quite thin, and we could see the market transition down into a longer term bearish bias, but a lot depends on how the market reacts around these support levels if we do trade lower than where we are at the moment.